When you get bitten by a tick, you don't know what you're getting. You can get anything or nothing. It's like Russian roulette. That's why some people get bitten by ticks and nothing happens to them. The others, everything under the sun happens.
The first day I noticed I wasn't right was people in the shop were telling me, because when I was sweeping the shop I couldn't sweep properly. I kept going round and round.
But as long as I've got something to hold on to and go sideways, I can do it.
And I was watching him die in front of my eyes. Really was. And you don't have to be Einstein or a great doctor to realise there's something seriously wrong with someone when they're as sick as he was and is.
The government won't accept it. I've got Lyme disease. And I've never left Australia.
Lyme disease is an infectious disease that's contracted from a tick bite. The Lyme disease bacteria lives inside the tick's stomach. When the tick is feeding on you, then the bacteria moves into your blood, and then you get, obviously, you get to develop Lyme disease. You don't get sick the day after you got bitten by a tick, but because the symptoms are so systemic and basically covers every single system in your body, it's hard to pinpoint and say, yes, you know, like if you got hepatitis, you know it's the liver. But with Lyme disease, some people, it might be the liver, some people it's the heart, some people it's the nervous system, other people it's the joints, you know, so it's all over the place. So it's very hard to pinpoint a single symptom that says that it's Lyme disease symptom. And it's only with lots of experience in patients that a doctor can diagnose it.
Brett knew fairly quickly that the birds were giving him some sort of an allergy and skin problems, and they weren't healthy, but he had no idea until the second bite, which was about a year later. And it took him right down that time. He got the chronic fatigue, he couldn't get out of bed, his right leg atrophied so alarmingly, he could barely walk, he was in excruciating pain, he had the typical onset that we now know is the typical onset of stabbing headaches, fatigue, skin, terrible skin, rashes and spread bullseye rashes, and muscle aches and joint aches and pains. I mean, you name it, you go, this is not...
It's the worst pain that you've ever had?
My first thing was my hand, my right hand. I got told I had carpal tunnel. My hand, I can't extend some fingers properly. I can't write properly. If I try and open a jar, like a tight jar, my hand will cramp, like up there. That was really my only symptom for a while. And my balance, I have no balance at all. None. Very one-sided. And again, every time I go around a corner, I lose my balance and walk into a wall.
I tested it, and then actually Annie came with me the last time I went and saw the neurologist, and he said, what if she's got Lyme disease, what are you going to do? He says, nothing. Don't do nothing about it.
3 days before Christmas I was told there's nothing it could be except for motor neurone disease, and it was devastating. I thought, here I am, I just turned 29, 3 little kids under 5, no family history of motor neurone disease or any neuro disease. It didn't make sense.
You don't just get Lyme bacteria with the tick bite. You can get sort of like a good hot pot of bacteria. You can get Babesia, which is a protozoa. You can get Bartonella, Rickettsia, HME, HGE. You can get some viruses. You may even get Murray Valley encephalitis virus. You may get Ross River fever. But no one's done testing to figure out what exactly do Australian ticks carry. And the fact that you can even get Lyme disease not just from a tick bite. There have overseas evidence of getting Lyme disease from fleas and from mosquitoes. So these bacteria can actually live in the stomach of a mosquito and the stomach of a flea. And if they bite you, you can get it. So we need to investigate this further to understand these arthropod-borne diseases are emerging diseases. And if we know more about them, we can prevent them.
Maybe a lot of people have been mixed diagnosed and then I've really got Lyme's and not Parkinson's. It's not right, is it? You know, it's not fair to the younger generations that are coming in. We've got to do something about it. If they don't believe it's here, we've got to convince them that it is here.
Let's get the message out. Stop, you know, the little children suffering, you know, through birth with Lyme and wheelchairs and, you know, misdiagnosis after misdiagnosis after misdiagnosis, and their pain and suffering.
People are just chronically sick and dying because it's not recognised, and it need not be that way. And if doctors, well, if the government and then the doctors were aware of it, they could see it before it got to this chronic late stage horrible neurological crap that it bestows upon people.
This is tragic in the 21st century, considering that Lyme disease is the fastest growing infectious disease in the US and it's almost at epidemic stages, and Australia is ignoring this stealth epidemic, and that's what we want to get across to the government, to the public, to be aware and alert, to realise that Lyme disease is a serious disease, but it's not a death sentence. You can recover. So why not take that, you know, on to further and research it?